The January window is starting to take shape at Ibrox, and the sense of movement is growing louder by the day. While everyone has been waiting for the big names and potential signings to land, there's been a quieter, just as important reshuffle going on behind the scenes. Danny Rowe and the recruitment team have been working away not just on bolstering the squad, but also on making sure the overall group is ready for the months ahead. That background work matters because it's shaping the direction of the club and clarifying exactly what the manager wants from his players. This week brought a key development, one that finally gives Rangers some much-needed clarity on a long-running situation. A Premier League club has stepped forward and officially confirmed their position, effectively giving Rangers the green light to agree terms. That may not sound like a headline-grabbing moment, but it's crucial. It means the club can now move on, focus on other priorities, and start to sharpen the squad picture as the season moves into the second half. With the demands of the league and the need to plan for the future, every bit of certainty helps, and this confirmation marks an important step in that process. But before we get to the transfer side of things, there's another story that matters to the fans just as much: the work being done to preserve and restore the heritage of Ibrox. A six-figure proposal has been given the go-ahead by supporters moving forward after receiving approval in the first stage of voting. Last month, RFC News reported that Club 1872 had held talks with the board over plans to restore areas of the stadium that hold historical significance for the supporters. It was a big moment because it showed the club and the fan base working together with a shared goal: to protect the legacy of Rangers for future generations. The discussions came shortly after it was revealed that the board had launched a consultation survey with supporters asking for opinions on blueprints for potential stadium expansion, upgrades to hospitality suites, and improvements to the matchday experience. It was a clear sign that the club wanted the fans involved in the decision-making process. Club 1872 then offered members the chance to influence a series of heritage projects around Ibrox following talks with the board over a $220,000 investment. This wasn't just about preserving the past. It was also about ensuring that supporters can have a say in the future of the club. As part of the agreement, as part of the fan organization will also have the option to invest in future fundraising rounds, increasing their shareholding and strengthening the bond between supporters and the club. One of the key areas of proposed restoration is the famous marble staircase, where three rooms sit at the top: the trophy room, the blue room, and the manager's office. The plans involve improving lighting, preserving artifacts, and upgrading the fabric of each space. Work is also expected to be carried out on the paintings in the blue room, ensuring that these historic pieces are protected for years to come. There's more to it than just those rooms, though. The conservation and restoration of the lion crest mosaic at both ends of the main stand is also on the agenda, along with work on the entrance porch mosaic. A structural engineering assessment is set to be carried out to define the scope for future preservation and restoration of the iconic archable lake structure. Meanwhile, the white steel framework above the club deck could be cleaned as part of the process, and the blue track surrounding the pitch is also in need of repairs, which may form part of the project. Even the statues around the stadium are set to benefit. The John Greig statue could receive a protective wax coating, and the same treatment may be applied to the Walter Smith statue, along with a new lighting installation to make sure the memorials look their best at all times. Supporters have given their approval to these plans following a vote in recent weeks, and now work will begin to finalize costs and get the projects underway. It's a major step forward, and it shows the kind of collaboration that fans have been calling for. Club 1872 released a statement confirming the results, saying they were delighted to announce that the poll on the proposed funding of various heritage projects in collaboration with Rangers Football Club had been approved, with 92% of contributors voting in favour. The club will now proceed to secure final costings with vendors and suppliers, and as individual projects begin, fuller cost breakdowns and progress updates will be provided. This approach marks the start of a new phase, one that focuses on a heritage and shareholder relationship between the club and Club 1872. The statement also made it clear that this is about more than just the projects themselves. It's about regular, ongoing investment and supporting the wider Rangers community, ensuring that contributors can see clear and tangible benefits for their donations. It's a move that recognizes the importance of the supporter base, and it sets a precedent for future collaborations. Club 1872 made it clear that this is just the beginning of a new stage of development, and they look forward to identifying further projects on which they can partner with the club. Now, switching back to the football side of things, Rangers have agreed a defender deal that has now been officially confirmed by a Premier League club, bringing clarity to the future of one of their former academy prospects. Cameron Scott has completed a move to Burnley, where he will link up with the club's under-20 squad at Turf Moor. Scott, who joined Rangers at just 9 years old, has spent the bulk of his development within the Light Blues academy system, and this move marks a major step in his career. After a successful trial period with Andy Farrell's side, the Scotland under-17 international has earned himself a long-term opportunity south of the border, signing a contract that will run until the summer of 2027. Primarily deployed as a left-back, Scott's versatility has been a standout feature of his development. He is also comfortable operating at centre-back and has even featured further forward on the left wing. That flexibility is something Burnley view as a major asset as they continue to build for the future. Speaking after the move was confirmed, Scott admitted that the attraction of joining a Premier League club was a decisive factor in his decision. He said it was a great feeling to be there, and that when you are younger, you always want to be at the top clubs. Being at a Premier League club like Burnley was really attractive to him. He also noted that there are quite a few Scottish lads around the building, including Ellis Clark, who he played against for years, and Muzz, who is from the same area as him. Scott admitted that he really enjoyed his 2 weeks at the club and that the setup and training facilities were phenomenal, making the decision a no-brainer. Burnley's academy manager, Chris Casper, also spoke about the deal, highlighting Scott's mentality and physical profile. He said that Scott is a strong addition to their under-21 group ahead of the second half of the season. Casper explained that Scott impressed with his attitude and technical ability during his trial, and that his physical profile matched what they were looking for. He said he looked forward to seeing Scott fulfill his potential with the club. With Burnley now formally confirming the agreement, Rangers' role in Scott's development comes to a close as the young defender takes the next step in his career within a Premier League environment. It is a significant moment for the academy graduate, and one that underlines the continued quality being produced at Ibrox. In other news, Lyle Cameron has vowed to work hard to repay Aberdeen fans after addressing the anger over his loan move from Rangers. Some sections of the Aberdeen support were furious when Cameron joined from Rangers. For the rest of the season, a banner in the home end at Pittodrie on Sunday, where Cameron made his debut, simply read "No old firm loans," showing the strength of feeling among some supporters. Speaking about the reaction, Cameron told BBC Scotland that he does not go on social media and that he knew what the reaction of the fans was going to be before he arrived. He said that it was fair enough and that he just needed to come to the club and perform, working hard for the team as much as he could. He vowed to keep doing that and hoped that he could repay the fans. With the January window now properly underway, Rangers are starting to see the picture come into focus, and the way things are unfolding suggests the club are being very deliberate about the direction they want to take. It is not just about signing players for the sake of it, but about building a squad that can compete right now while also laying the foundations for the future. The decisions being made behind the scenes are just as important as any transfer headline, and that is why the confirmation from the Premier League side is such a big deal. It clears the path and allows Rangers to move forward without uncertainty hanging over the squad. At the same time, the club are also having to manage expectations because fans naturally want instant results. The Scottish Premiership is not a forgiving environment, and every week brings its own set of challenges. Rangers have been dealing with injuries, form dips, and the constant pressure of needing to perform in front of demanding supporters. The team's performances have been solid in patches, but there is always that sense that the squad needs a little bit more depth to really push on. That is why the recruitment work has been so crucial and why any movement in the squad will be watched closely by the fan base. And one of the key talking points has been how the club are balancing short-term needs with long-term planning. There is a real desire to keep the identity of the team intact, but also a recognition that some areas need reinforcement. The board and the manager know that the club cannot afford to waste the window and that the right additions can make a significant difference. However, it is also about making sure that any new signings fit the style of play and the culture at Ibrox. Rangers have always been a club with a strong sense of identity, and the recruitment team are keen to preserve that while still bringing in players who can raise the level. At the same time, the ongoing work on the heritage projects around Ibrox is a reminder that the club's identity is not just built on the pitch. The stadium itself is a huge part of what makes Rangers special, and preserving that history is important for supporters. The fact that fans have given the green light to the restoration work shows that there is a real appetite for protecting the club's heritage. It is not just about improving facilities, it is about ensuring that future generations can experience Ibrox in the way that supporters have always known it. The restoration of the trophy room, the blue room, and the manager's office is particularly significant because these spaces are deeply connected to the club's history. The work on the mosaics and the iconic archable lake structure is also a sign that the club are serious about preserving the unique features that make Ibrox so distinctive. These are not just cosmetic upgrades, they are projects that will help safeguard the stadium for years to come. And while some might see this as a purely aesthetic exercise, it is actually a demonstration of respect for the club's past. Rangers have always been proud of their heritage, and the restoration projects are a way of honoring that legacy. It is also worth noting that the work on the statues and the lighting installations will make the stadium feel more modern while still retaining its historical character. The funding model is also interesting because it shows a new level of collaboration between the club and the supporters. Club 1872 have stepped up to fund these projects, and the fact that they are also able to invest in future fundraising rounds is a sign of how supporters are becoming more involved in the club's direction. This is a new phase for the relationship between the club and the fans, and it could set a precedent for future initiatives. The statement from Club 1872 emphasized that contributors should see clear benefits for their donations and that the projects are just the beginning of a broader plan. It is a message that suggests the fan base will have more of a voice in how the club develops. Turning back to the football, the move of Cameron Scott to Burnley is a reminder of the talent being produced at Ibrox. Rangers have always been proud of their academy, and the fact that a young player has earned a move to a Premier League club is a positive sign. Scott's journey from joining the club at 9 years old to now signing a long-term deal in England is a testament to the work being done in the academy. While it is always disappointing to see a young player leave, especially one who has been part of the club for so long, it is also an opportunity to celebrate the development pathway. Rangers have a history of producing quality players, and Scott's move shows that the academy is continuing to deliver. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Shockwaves are rippling through Scottish football after a bold, if not audacious, claim from the manager of Bulgarian side Ludogorets. In a statement that's already set tongues wagging from Govan to Glasgow, the coach reportedly described Rangers as a small club, dismissing the decades of history, trophies, and European nights that have long defined the Ibrox Giants. It's the kind of comment that could spark outrage among the Jaws faithful, who are known for their fierce pride and unwavering support of their team. The Ludogorets manager didn't stop at words either. Sources suggest he has made it a personal mission to silence Ibrox, promising that his side will go all out to prove the claim wrong or perhaps right, depending on one's perspective. Fans across Scotland are now abuzz, dissecting every syllable and debating whether this is merely psychological gamesmanship or the start of a genuine confrontation. The audacity of labeling Rangers, who a club steeped in tradition and European pedigree, as small, is sure to raise eyebrows in football circles far beyond Glasgow. In the corridors of Ibrox, whispers of the coach's comments have already reached the dressing room. Some insiders hint that the Rangers squad sees it as a rallying cry, a provocation designed to ignite their competitive fire. The thought of a foreign manager underestimating their stature is likely to strike a nerve with players who carry the weight of history and expectation every time they step onto the pitch. And yet others caution that Ludogorets, having built a reputation in Europe for their tactical discipline and fearless approach, cannot be dismissed lightly. This narrative is only intensifying the sense of drama surrounding the upcoming clash. Social media is alight with speculation, with supporters both mocking and warning the Bulgarian side not to underestimate their opponents. Scottish tabloids are having a field day with the story, while pundits debate whether such bravado is clever mind games or simply hubris that could backfire spectacularly. One thing is certain: Rangers, with their proud history, are unlikely to take the insult lying down, and Ludogorets appear ready to test their resolve. Whether the remark will come back to haunt the Ludogorets coach or whether it will mark the beginning of a historic upset remains to be seen. For now, though, the tension is palpable, and every fan of Scottish football is holding their breath eager to see if Ibrox can respond to what many are calling the boldest slight of the season. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned